Hello and welcome to round number 1 of the Schaeffer's Turbo Series from Michigan International Speedway. For Race First, I'm Matt Houston. So the Schaeffer's Turbo Series is an introductory series for this league, the RIL Championship. It's for drivers looking for a more casual experience and shorter races before moving up to the Schaeffer's Cup. So this is an inaugural season of this particular series, and we are glad to have you here tonight. This is the Turbo Series, and we're going to be running PM18s at Michigan International Raceway, a really big track for these particular cars. But we're just getting done with qualifying, and we'll run through the grid here momentarily. A little bit of technical difficulties getting everything going here just a moment ago, so bear with me for a moment. We'd really like to do a shout out to Schaeffer's Oil for sponsoring this series, and welcome everybody out there watching tonight. We'll hopefully get all of our technical difficulties sorted out for this particular run and be ready for the Cup race later tonight. Doubleheader night here at Michigan International. Looks like all of the cars have qualified, so let's do a run through the grid, making sure that the stream is running correctly. All right, so on the pole is Christopher Kresge at a 44.239. Dylan Hearn, a newcomer to the series, at a 44.270. Christian Jasper, another newcomer. Julian Altena, our fourth place finisher in the championship in the Cup Series last season, in fourth. Jason Owens, known as Crizzle Colts previously in the last season, qualifying fifth. Simon Fell, another newcomer, I believe, in sixth. As we move on, Andrew Spates in seventh. Robert Hodel in eighth. Gary Gotso will be joining us in the booth later tonight. Tony Patty in 10th. Adam Davis in 11th. Chris Cothern in 12th. And we've got Jeff Destino in 13th and James Watson in 14th. It looks like Mike McCullen has not qualified, but he was in the session earlier, so we'll keep an eye on him if he shows up at some point in here later on. Yeah, I'm showing him not in the session currently. As our cars heading on to, we're going to be 40 laps here tonight. The kind of heat race format here tonight. 40 laps, and then we're going to be doing 100 laps in the Cup Series. Kresge from the pole. I'm sure he'll be happy about that. Our admin actually here in the league. Tony Patty, one of our other admins. We'll be doing one lap under the pace car here. Field a little bit out of sorts there, as I can see, as they get formed up on the back straightaway here. Dylan Hearn in that Target livery, number 66. 777 for our pole sitter, Christopher Kresge. Again, I apologize for a little bit of a late start here, getting things going. Some problems with our overlay, but we've got Kresge's leading us down here. Watching for that pace car to duck off. We're going to see a green flag momentarily. I believe the rule was don't go till green. They'll be able to... There we are. Kresge leads us. This is going to be a pack race if you've ever seen one here. Into turn 1, Michigan International Speedway in these PM18 cars. Only about 275 horsepower. Julian Altena on the outside, a really good start. We've got a car low on the apron of the track. That might be Jason Owens falling back to 13th. And looks like he's just opting to get out of the way here, knowing that there might be just a big one happening at some point in time here. So Altena gets the jump into second place. It's going to be white line, following that white line, kind of Indy Racing League style race here in the Turbo Series. It's such a big track. We go on board there for a moment. I see that my overlay, so we had some issues with our overlay earlier. We don't have a lap counter. I'll have to read out the laps for you guys. We are 3 wide, 2 target cards with, it looks like, Christian Jasper in the middle there. Simon Fell on the outside. And we'll get this sorted out here. So it looks like McCullen did not start the race. Either did Tony Patty there. Just Jason Owens, as I mentioned earlier, he's just hanging in the back here. And it looks like Altena's actually... Okay, that was another car that looked like Altena. Oh, that's Gary Godso there, our second broadcaster. He's got that VOR livery there. I thought he was Altena there. So Kresge leads as we finish lap 3 of 40. Altena led that lap there, but Kresge's back in the lead there. Led that previous lap. Just total pack racing here. Let's go on board with somebody back here and kind of get a good view of what we've got here. You can see a little bit of aero wash getting behind one of those target cars. This is from on board with Adam Davis here running in the 9th position. As he peeks underneath one of those target cars, James Watson there on the inside. And that yellow, I believe it's Lincoln Racing car. Ooh, they get a little bit of scraggly there between that green Panasonic car. We'll have to get some thoughts from these drivers here at the end of this race, what their thoughts are on this pack racing here. Or they're going to be doing it again, not next week, but at Homestead. That could be some pack racing there, just depending on what the setup and the track temperatures end up being. See Christian Jasper moving into that 3rd spot in that 444 car. To go 3 wide in the back of the field there. I can see Gary's back there. Again, I know Gary. He's our other broadcaster, other commentator here, and he's just gonna cruise around and wait for that big one to happen if it comes, and try to take advantage of it. He doesn't want to be part of it. Although these cars do get these drivers do get a faster pair in this series. So anybody that does crash out is going to end up getting that car right back out. They might lose a lap though, and that'd be deadly. As we get a blinker there, looks like that was Robert Hodel and that black car there, number 37. We check out a blimp view. We can see, throw a blanket over the field here. Down to 13 cars, but kind of like an Indy Lights race here. Yeah, Robert Hodel's got a little bit, we're focused on him, and you can see blinked out just a little bit there. And we have completed 8 laps of 40, 32 laps to go. I apologize again that the lap counter is not on the overlay here. We'll have that sorted out for the Cup race later tonight. We might be able to reset it. If there happens to be a caution, we'll try to do a reset here. See if we can get this sorted out. Altena leads that lap there on the outside. That outside line might be a preferred line late in this race as these tires go off. So we go on board with our leader, but let's go back again. I guess we're going to go on board with Davis once again. He's got a good view of this whole thing. And I could see, looked like Christian Jasper there hitting the apron just ever so slightly. Don't want to do that too much. As he gets passed by a few cars, so that outside line not really working for him as much. As we complete lap 10 of 40. Altena leading there momentarily. This is the Schaeffer's Turbo Series. We'll quickly do a commercial for them.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
As we are back, we appreciate Schaeffer's Oil sponsoring this series, our Schaeffer's Turbo Series, and the coming up later tonight at 9:30, an hour and 15 minutes or so, we'll be running the Schaeffer's Cup here, 100 laps here in the IndyCars. As it's just Kresge and Altena swapping places back and forth here. Not much either of one of them can do, just get in that draft and cooperate with one another. I see a comment in the crowd that it looks like two semis holding one another up on the highway here tonight. That third line does not work. And you can see Christian there really up on that apron, just really tight on that. It appears that they've discussed not using the apron on the front straightaway here, as I can see Watson there putting a wheel, left wheel on that. But don't put the full car on there. You might hear the wrath of the stewards here in the series. I can see the Kresge's with the RIL Cup there car, and he's got a little bit of a race first logo on there, so appreciative of that out here. Our leader here. Check out Gary in the back here again. So he's as we are 15 laps, 25 laps to go in this, he's decided to kind of get mixed up in this. He's been hanging back, but we'll get a certain amount of these guys are going to do something like that, and at some point we might have some issues. Oh, we had a little bit of a moment there for that fourth place car. I think that was Hodel again. But it's just 2 by 2 here. Like I said earlier, this is a lot like an old IRL IndyCar race here. At Chicagoland or something like that. I guess, or Michigan for that matter. We'll see if we can make it to the end here without a yellow flag, as these tires might start to go off. And I'm not 100% sure if this race goes, and we had a little bit of a touch there between Altena and Kresge. It looked like really close racing there. We might have pit stops. I'm not sure if they can make it to the end if this goes green the whole way. They might need a splash and go right at the end here. Yeah, I see Mike McCullen there mentioning that this is really clean from any practice we've had. There was an IndyCar practice last night and a practice race that was pretty rough. But I think that, you know, it's practice, so that's okay. We hope that the race tonight won't be as rough as that one, as I saw that Kresge giving a little bit of a move on Altena there. As they hug that white line on the back straightaway here at Michigan International. We are 18 laps into this. Pretty wild racing, but I don't know if I'd want to be part of this. See, Dylan Hearn, who actually started second, or was it third, he's dropped to the end of the line here. Again, that might be a strategy. But the way things are going, I don't know if that's much of a strategy. Again, we'll be back later tonight at 9:30 for the IndyCars. Michigan International Speedway. Let's see, Owens has moved his way back up here on the outside, 3 wide on the front straightaway here. Yeah, Mike McCullen mentioning that the fuel should be good to the end, but it might be really tight if it goes full green. They're looking at, you know, 40 laps, 80 miles. That's really tight for these cars. And obviously they're running full as Jason there drops back to the 12th position. So we've got cars 3 wide, and I don't think the 3 wide works, but the 2 wide certainly works. Altena and Kresge are only leaders here so far. Just side by side this whole way. We're halfway through this race to lap 21 of 40. Only less than 40 miles to go. Yeah, I saw there, Mike. Unfortunate that you had to drop out there right at the end. I saw that disconnect, and as I see really close between Altena and Kresge. I guess you'll get 14th in points, though, I suppose. I can see Gary here moving on up. We'll have a quick look from his point of view. A VOR entry, Velocity Online Racing, the sponsor here. Again, a shout out to Schaeffer's Oil. Racing is in their blood. It's what they love. At Schaeffer, their racing products help racing teams spend less resources on replacing parts and changing fluids and more time out on the track. You can check out schaeffersoil.com to find the nearest retailer of Schaeffer's products. Just put in your zip code and or put in your area code, and you'll find the nearest retailer. Probably be like a Kroger or something like that. Maybe a Menards. Okay, so Tony Patty also had some technical issues here tonight. So both the 14th and 15th drivers in this race, both having mechanical troubles on the grid here and not getting off there. Unfortunate for them. So we've got, things are getting a little dicey here. We're 16 laps to go. We're coming up on 15 laps to go, 30 miles. Michigan International Speedway, Schaeffer's Turbo Series. First running of this series. The Schaeffer's Cup tonight will be heading into its second season. Caleb Bensi, the champion there, and he and the winner last season at that exact race, and we'll see what he can do tonight. And the rest of the drivers that are looking to knock him off there. So Gary puts a couple wheels on that apron. So this entire field is within 0.8 of a second of one another. Pretty insane. So we go 3 wide in the back of the field in about the, 5th row there? So Altena is going to have to time this. I think Kresge has the advantage having that inside line as we're 14 laps to go. And he's just going to have the preferred line there. But if he can time it right, he might get, some help and be able to take the win here. Side by side, Altena leads that lap. I think things are going to get really dicey here as the laps start to tick down. These guys beyond that first 2 rows are going to get a little impatient, and they're going to try to force some things here. And no green-white checkers here as far as I understand. I should probably check that rule. There's a lot of discussion in the various leagues that we cover about the green-white checker. I know we do lucky dogs here. Not seeing anything about a green-white checker. If a caution did come out. Ooh, I saw Robert there, Hodel, in that number 37. Nearly contacting the side pod of that third place car of Christian Jasper. Really smart driving by everybody out here tonight, though. Okay, we've got a caution? What did we have happen there? I'm not sure what that would be. I'm not seeing anybody having any contact or anything like that. Okay. Maybe debris on the track. Okay, well, there might have been something happen here. Let's see if we can get a replay. I mean, our last place car here, that doesn't sound like a very healthy engine. Oh, yep, we've got James Watson there losing it in some fashion. We need to go back a little bit more, though. Okay, so he's on the outside of Jason Owens, it appears. Looking at that car, that yellow Lincoln car there. Yeah, it looked like somebody got pushed. Okay, yeah, there it was. And we had a spinner, and unfortunately he contacts the wall, but he'll get a fast repair. So that is what we had happen there. We have Jason Owens coming down pit lane, I guess, for fresh tires. No harm, no foul. He's not going to really lose any positions here. We've got 10 laps to go, so we're going to restart with about 8 or 9 laps to go. I guess this is a good opportunity. We'll do another commercial here for Schaeffer's oil.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
And again, we are under caution. James Watson had a little bit ahead of car. I believe that was... Well, we were on him quite a bit earlier in the race, but it was the green Panasonic car. Not 100% sure on who the driver was. But anyway, they number 13 there, it was Adam Davis. So he got a little bit, maybe aero push, and moved up onto James Watson. James Watson back here won't lose a lap though, but still on the pit lane. He shouldn't have lost a lap because as far as I knew, actually, now that I'm thinking of this, they don't have fast repairs in this league. It would be fast repairs will happen on the road courses. So unfortunately, he's going to be getting those repairs for that light contact he made up in the turn 3 wall. Yeah, I thought maybe the rule was that the Turbo Series here would do fast repairs on the ovals, but from what I'm seeing, they will not. Correct. There's one fast repair on the road courses. Thought maybe we were going to be a little bit more lenient for these guys out here in the Turbo Series, but Kresge here is a tough admin, and he doesn't like to give out those fast repairs like. Well, he did last season at the Richmond race. Lights on the pace car are off. We're going to be back to green. We've got 9 laps to go. Again, apologize that we don't have the lap counter on this, but we'll fix that for the Cup race. Pace car is going to dive in.
Green flag, green flag.
And we'll see how long before we are 2x2 all the way through the field. Kresge had a really good start there, but these cars are going to start to work with one another and catch up. Altena looks to the outside onto the back straightaway. Christian Jasper in that third spot in that red car. He's going to look to see what he can do as well. As we go 3 wide into turn 3. Whoa, a little bit. Whoa, and Kresge. And that is going to be caution. And this is exactly what we've been waiting for. Not what we wanted to be waiting for, but bound to happen. It looked like we'll get a replay here of what happened here. But several cars involved, 4 or 5 cars involved. Altena leads. Onto the front straightaway, a little bit of contact, and then Christian Jasper and other cars just avoiding this. And one car, I think that was Robert Hodel, maybe. No, he's up to second. Wow. That takes out, let's see here. Back to live pictures here. Much of our field here. Yes, the damage model in full effect here. So that's going to bring Gary Gatso, our commentator later tonight, one of our helpers, up to the 5th position, or yeah, in the 5th position. Looks like we've got several cars on pit lane. We've got about 7 cars opting not to take them down the pit lane. Owens at the end of the line there. Christian's car does not look like it will be making it much further tonight. He'll try to get those repairs. Andrew Spates, Chris Cothern, Jeff Destino. It looks like he'll be coming out to just with Chris Cothern as well. Kresge led all those laps here. Basically led 30 laps, give or take, and ends up with a car on the wrecker. Looks like Watson's going to come back out here. He's 3 laps down, though. That was a big one. We're going to hope that something like that does not happen later in the IndyCar race. Julian Altena leads. He was actually a late comer into this series, signing up at the last moment. Wasn't sure he could make it. I don't know what time it is. He's over in the Netherlands, so it's probably about 2 or 3 in the morning for him over there, so he wanted to be here, though. Not sure if he's going to be running in the IndyCar race later tonight. Or not. So we're gonna have about an hour before that race starts. So resetting the field, looks like we're gonna have 9 cars still on the lead lap, 1 car 3 laps down. Yeah, I don't think there's anything gonna be happening from Christian there, unfortunately for him. Looks like we're going to be restarting with about 4 laps to go. Pace lights are out on the Mustang pace car there. And that is our field right there, with those ominous clouds above. Alton is going to lead us back, and he goes on the throttle really early. We got Gary Gotso's up to third place, so good showing by those VOR guys. They just got to get it to the end. Five laps to go. So we didn't quite get to a point where Hodel... Oh, it looks like Altona's kind of giving a lane to Hodel there. He might have learned something through this race, and he's working with that other Godso's teammate there. Simon Fell underneath. And Robert Hodel's going to take the lead here. I don't know about that decision there to take that outside lane. But Altona has been driving there the whole race, so he might know something better than we do. Oh, it looked like a little bit of contact between tires hitting each other. See Jason Owens back there trying to get up there. He's making it up to third on the outside of Simon Fell. He's got those fresh tires. I know Altona does not have fresh tires. Robert Hodel does not have fresh tires either. It looks like the cars got so also. So fresh tires here for Jason Owens. He's going to make it 3 wide into turn 1. He's just kind of been lurking from behind there this whole race, and now, as we got a car coming out of the pits, let's hope he stays out of the way. That's that 444 car. I guess Christian's going to come out and get some of those valuable points. Impressive repairs by his crew there. Altona back up to that second spot. I thought he might lose, get shuffled back to third. Gary Gotso got shuffled back to 9th after that start. He went from 3rd to 9th. Those older tires just not working out for him. He's actually, he's hit the pit lane, in fact. So he might have taken some damage, some aero wash, as we are 2 laps to go here. Robert Hodel, I believe this is his first start in the RIL series here. Looks to get his first victory in his first race. Owen really wants this one. He loves these cars, I can tell you that. His PM18s are his favorite car to drive, so he'd love to win this race. Final lap, white flag. Not sure if anybody can do anything. It's just going to be up to the racing gods who decide who is the winner here. We can get through no contact. A 2x2 down to 6th position. Less than a 1/10 of a second between them. Owens on the outside into turn 3. I don't know if that's going to work though for him. 3 wide. We're going to be 3 wide at the finish, and actually it's going to drop back just ever so slightly. And we're going to have Alton and Robert Hodel, and there's contact between them. Is that Robert Hodel is going to take the victory? No, Altona is going, no, and it flashes back and forth. As Hodel, from my information, Hodel is our victor here. Altona 2nd, Simon Fell 3rd, Cothern 4th. Let me just go through the results here, if this lets us. Robert Hodel 1st. It's not the major series, so we'll just go through there. Davis 6th, Owens was in 5th there. Jeff Destino in 7th. Hearn in 8th. Gary Gotso dropped back, went a lap down there right at the end. We'll have to get in some talking to him later during the broadcast. I don't know exactly what happened there, but Watson 10th, Spates 11th, Jasper finishes up 12th, Kresge 13th, McCullen and Patty did not start this race because of mechanical difficulties. And we'll see if we can get Robert Hodel in the booth. He's out here. See an Eric Hodel in the, so it might not be Robert here. As he tries to do some victory donuts here. Well, we will wait and see if he comes up to the waiting room, and if not, we will see. Checking out the Discord. Well, for the moment, we'll go ahead and run a commercial from our valued sponsor.
Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, you know, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
We've got Robert in the booth there. Congratulations on the victory there, buddy. Tell me about your race.
Wow, it was fun. It was competitive. Got a good start at the beginning and worked my way up, and just held in there. On the first race start, kind of got beat a little bit, but worked my way back up. It was a good race. Everybody did great.
Yeah, it was really clean. You guys were running 2x2 all the way back to about, 13th position. It was pretty insane. Do you have any blood left in your fingers from all of this?
Barely. I'm shaking a little bit just from adrenaline.
I can imagine.
Those cars get a little shaky when you get in the draft. They move around a bit.
Yeah, I'd say so. Hey, so next race is Montreal. Any thoughts going in there? Are you going to be doing that one?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, great.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you're going to be leading the Schaeffer's Turbo Series here. This is our first race of that series, so congratulations on that inaugural victory. Anybody you want to thank out there? Any sponsors, any family, friends, that kind of thing?
My son, he's the one that got me in iRacing last April. So I've only been doing it since the spring.
Well, I think that's the story of a lot of people, through this whole world we live in right now. They came back in March, April, right?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the victory, and we'll see you in a week in Montreal.
Thank you.
All right. Well, congratulations, Robert, there. We'll be back at 9:30, and we'll see you then. Might be there a little bit earlier once we get Gary in the booth here. Hey guys, we're just doing a quick audio test here, making sure Gary's mic quality is good. So let me make sure I get back to the video, Gary, so I can watch it. Maybe I closed it. Oh, I didn't. Here, I got it. So yeah, go ahead and say hello there, Gary. Tell us a little bit about your PM18 race.
Well, hopefully I will get a black flag on the start of this one. It was a planned restart there to help Julian get to the front and secure the win. So I had him tell me when to go, and I was on it, as you can clearly see from the video. And I must have passed just enough of the car in front of me to get flagged with the black flag. But I got up there, tried to help my teammate a little bit. That's all that really mattered. We're not in this for the championship. We're just in this for fun. And looking forward to tonight's race. And I appreciate you having me on video to do the broadcast. And I passed just enough of the car in front.
All right, you sound good. So we've got about 9 minutes left in practice here. You guys get to see some shots here. But we're going to be going back into waiting for the qualifying to start, and we'll start the broadcast at that point. As we see, one of the cars just crashed. It was a McLaren car. So we'll be right back, guys. Hello and welcome to the main event of the night, round number 1 of the Schaeffer's Cup from Michigan International Speedway. For Raceforce, I'm Matt Houston, and I'm joined by Gary Godso here in the booth, driver from the earlier race tonight, the Schaeffer's Turbo Series. Welcome, Gary.
Hey, good to be here again, and looking forward to looks like we got a large field. Looks like some close to wheel drafting and some fast speed. So what everyone likes to watch, we'll get to see it tonight in IndyCar racing.
Yeah, I think we're going to be having a kind of a old-style IRL pack race here. We actually only had 2 cautions last season for this race. The conditions were a little bit different, though. We've got an overcast skies here today. Last season it was a little bit hotter, and so we had some tire fall off. We'll have to see if we have much tire fall off. Some initial impressions I've gotten from the drivers is that there won't be tire fall off, but I'm hoping there will be. So we're 100 laps tonight, 200 miles, US 200 here in the Schaeffer's Cup. So last season, this race was exactly what the top 5 in the championship finished top 5 in this race. So Caleb Benzie won the championship. Alex Van de Sant was 2nd. Dakota DeMade was 3rd. Julian Altina was 4th, and Shane Coogan in 5th. So that was exactly how the championship went. Was the finishing results from this race.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers that I like to call real pros in this particular series. These are guys that I have no problem going wheel to wheel with, because I know they're not going to wreck me. I can trust them. They're high quality, and they have all types of those drivers from top to bottom in this particular league for the most part. So I think it's indicative of the type of race we might see tonight with some fast speeds and some close wheel to wheel racing.
As we see speeds come in, we've got Tyler Coogan, taking over the board at a 220 point, well, it's Caleb Benzie just takes over 221.221 miles per hour here. We're watching Dakota DeMade there warm up his tires, and we'll see him get up to speed.
That's a good looking paint job on his car.
Talking about Dakota?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, rumor has it that there will be a new livery here coming soon. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that in the next month or so, from what I've heard. So I'm not sure what I think Dakota's just hanging around and doing a slow lap.
Just going to put a little time down and say you turned a lap and not finish it, not start at the rear, but starting, towards the back. Nice job. Let's see what that comes in as. 133.
Yes. Julian Alton, I saw, was just using the apron. That's allowed in the qualifying. Kind of the strategy to take. He's on his 2nd hot lap now. What was that first lap at? Not seeing it actually on the ticker.
2:19.890.
Okay. Now he's coming down for his final lap.
Really, the apron isn't. It is the shortest way around. It is not the fastest way around, because you scrub off a lot of speed. I think a lot of the guys in the PM18 race were able to tweak out 44.4s and 44.3s down on the apron, but it really wasn't the best way to get yourself around. So these cars are going way too fast to run the apron all the way around. They'll probably running the apron down the front stretch at the very least. But if there's someone running the apron all the way around, they're braver than me.
Yeah, I have to agree. Generally, only running the apron at that start-finish line on the 2nd lap is what I'd end up doing. And I was going to quickly have a look here. I believe we were running a Majors Garage setup here tonight. The naming scheme on the setup makes me think it is a Majors Garage setup. Various setups were running fixed setups here. As we're coming to the end of qualifying. And once that ends, we'll go through the grid here. Looks like Benzie's going to be our pole sitter. Looks like we got a couple drivers opting to not qualify at all, and Dakota, as we mentioned earlier, is going to be our slowest car qualifier that actually set a lap.
You know, for the 500, they gave you money for that here in Indianapolis. I don't think they gave you any money here for that one, though.
For being the slowest qualifier?
Yes.
All right,
Turning
so
to slowest speed, yeah.
we're ready to go to the grid here. So you want to take us through that grid, Gary?
Yeah, we'll take you for the first 3 rows here on the pole from Ohio. The defending champion, the number 1 car, Caleb Bency with the speed of 221.221. That's not a typo. That is just me repeating exactly what's there. 221.221. Next to him from Indiana, Elliott Borg at 220.973. Then Shane Coogan and Alex Van Ascent in row 2. Dylan Blanton and Matthew Cosgrove fill out row 3 in the 5th and 6th positions.
Heading to row 4, in the 7th position, Hayden Herman, Tyler Coogan in 8th, Drew White in P9, Christopher Albee in P10. We're going to be looking at his car later tonight. We mentioned that a little bit earlier. Gary, Adam Nash in 11th, Connor Baldwin in 12th.
And 13th, we have Wes Shire. 14th, Nathaniel Johnson. 15th, my teammate over in the VOR Series, Julian Altena. 16th, one of my competitors for the TI Series, Craig Forsyth. 17th spot is Gavin Sanders. And 18th, from Indiana, Peter Donchak. I hopefully said that right.
Heading to 19th, we've got Mike McCullen with a 219.914. Eric Hodel in 20th. Mark Johnson, 21st. Lewis Woodall, 22nd. Cole Stranahan in 23rd. And Neil Lusher in 24th. And in 25th, we have Ryan Lewis, Angelo Espo. Actually, Angelo was one of our fastest cars in practice, and Dakota DeMade in 27th, our slowest qualifier. We've got Garrison Hogan in 28th, and it's showing Christopher Kresge in 30th, and John Fries in 32nd. I think Kresge will not be running here tonight. He's one of our admins.
And it's showing Tony Patty in 33rd.
Yeah, he's also...
Yeah, they must be all admins. Yeah.
100 laps here tonight. 200 miles.
A lot of good-looking cars out here.
I have to say that I'm a little bit biased for that P1 car, number 1 car of Caleb Bency, the race versus livery. He's got Fawn and Fanny sponsorship on there. That is a custom skincare design where you go there, you make your own products in northern Ohio. So check it out, Fawn and Fanny. Just Google that, and you might check it out if you're in North Ohio.
You know, gentlemen, it's ladies like that stuff. It's getting near Christmas time.
That is exactly right. And this is custom kind of stuff that you could go make it yourself. Pretty great seeing so many cars here. I'm pretty sure that we had nearly 30 cars at the start of the season last season as well. Extremely clean race. We're hoping for more of that tonight. Caleb Bency is going to bring us down.
Good formation.
Really good formation. Green flag. The leader accelerates.
Well, we got a pass for the position on the high side there before the start-finish line, so hopefully they didn't get the black flag like me. I got a couple guys we saw get a little loose on acceleration, but so far nothing major as they're coming out of turn 2 and heading down the backstretch.
Caleb
starting to get that familiar snaky look.
Caleb Bency leads down the back straightaway. Elliott Borg moving in 2nd on the high side there. Shane Coogan up to 3rd. Alex Van de Zandt in the 4th position. So these guys opting to go with I need to lead it out at the front, whereas Dakota there in the back, he's just kind of hanging out, trying to avoid that big one that's could happen somewhere in this race.
Well, as someone that followed that approach in the last race, it's really not a bad strategy at all. But when your car doesn't really have the power because it's hitting the rev limiter at all moments in the draft, making up that ground in those cars versus these cars is a much taller order. So I think Dakota definitely has it in him to hang out in the back and pull a Rick Mears and come out in the last quarter of the race.
That's right. Waiting for that last pit stop, and then he's going to make his move to the front as we have Caleb Bensi leading. It looks like Alex Van de Zandt moving into that second position. These guys racing really hard all season, last season. Actually, over in the TI League as well. They're 1-2 in the championship over there as well.
Yeah, they're among the 4 that are going to race for the championship come next Monday at Le Mans. Yeah, these guys are definitely no strangers to each other, and you got Borg and Coogan up there who are trying to make it at some points 4 wide.
Yes, they are. I see Hayden Herman also making his way, and I saw a puff of smoke, but I think that was some lag there. We hit Hayden Herman moving into the 7th position.
Yeah, I hate getting behind those cars, that lag, and sometimes there's nothing they can do about it. And when you're far behind and you can't see through the other cars in front of you and you just see those puffs of smoke, it's just like it's a heart-stopping moment when you're thinking, okay, is the big one happening in front of me and what do I do, or is it just someone flashing in and out just like we just saw there?
I can see Alex Van de Zandt's kind of running this high line. That's to save some of those tires just a little bit. Fuel stints are going to be about 35, 36 laps here. You might be able to stretch to 40, just depending on if you're really light on that pedal and then get some really good draft. Maybe even knock that fuel mode down to lower richness so that it's not burning as much fuel. We've got the
normally when I'm in a race and I compete with Alex, you can pretty much, especially in an oval, at some point in the race, find him on the high side. He is the master at conserving those tires. He definitely knows what he's doing. And if you want to take some tips and you're in a race with Alex, just follow him.
I was going to mention, but it's already changed. We had Coogan's 9th and 10th position, but they've spread out a little bit now. I'm looking at Forsyth's moved up from to 12th from 16th. He's really strong on these kind of ovals as well. I know he runs a bunch of other leagues that are oval focused, and Alex was telling me about that, and they kind of dominate one of those other series together.
Yeah, you have Nash up 8, Baldwin up 7, Coogan up, and that's the brother Coogan up 5, Forsyth up 5. And Woodall up 9. So we got some guys that decided that they would take what they would take in qualifying, and then they're making hay in the race.
That's right. And we've got Christopher Albee. We were talking a little bit earlier in that 12th position. He's got that classic Papyrus IndyCar racing livery. We love to see it, don't we, Gary?
Hey, if you had that game back in the 90s, at some point or another, you probably raced a car in that exact same livery, because that's the car they gave you when you started racing in the game. So that is so great to see the John Smith Dallara. They didn't have Dallaras back in the day. They had the Renards and the Penske's and the Lolas, but we get the John Smith Dallara this year.
Yes, we do.
We got Hogan Purple with a 31.784 last lap around, so he's definitely catching a big toe.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see guys running even into the 32s on their own on race fuel.
Yeah, Caleb's doing a really good job at holding that low line. And you know as well as I do from racing on these particular D-shaped 2-mile ovals that when you spin too much on the yellow line, your car will start to get loose at some point during your run. And the fact that we're already a good handful of laps in that he's managed to hold that yellow line says a lot about his ability, and then also everyone else around him giving him room.
Yeah, I can see. I don't know if this is for you, Gary, but Connor Baldwin, I'm getting a little bit of blinking out of him, so hope everybody gives some extra room to him.
Apparently, he was established in 1978.
Is that what the livery says?
I believe so. I believe so.
Very good. And Hayden Herman here moving into, well, he's in fourth. He's kind of battling for that third spot. So he's kind of a wingman of Caleb Bency there up the front. So it's good to see him. He's running the full livery for that Fawn and Fanny that I mentioned earlier. We've already got 12 laps completed here in the Schaeffer's Cup. I'm going to go on board with some of these cars in the back here.
Angelo Espo, he just went purple.
What position? Okay, I see him.
24th.
All right, he's going to have a good view of this whole thing. Again, he was our big lap during practice, Angelo here. Hey, we got a purple car there up in front of him. Who is that, Ryan Lewis, or is that... I think that's Ryan.
In the 55, yeah.
Yeah, I was just noticing that purple car. Anytime I see that purple car, I think Buddy Lazier.
And properly so.
Let's see. Let's get a look. Get a closer look.
There's Julian coming up the middle there.
Yeah, I don't think that is a Buddy Lazier car, but yeah.
No, it's not a Buddy Lazier, no.
Okay, I thought it might be a Delta Fawcett car.
Oh! Espo got really tight with the Pennzoil Chaparral that they got livery in the race here.
Yeah, Julian started 15th. He's back to 23rd. He was saying, I don't know exactly what time it is over there in the Netherlands right now, but it's probably 3:30 or 3:35 in the morning. He's hocked up on Monster Energy, though.
Well, keep in mind, he's already done 40 laps tonight in a little bit of a slower car, and he was kind of my de facto teammate in that particular race, and I know that he was grateful for that first caution when he was telling me that his wrists were definitely hurting with the way that you had to keep the car so steady. So it might be actually a little bit of a relief for him to be behind the wheel of an IndyCar right now.
I see Dakota DeMade back in 29th position, just hanging out. We talked to him earlier, Gary, and he was trying to decide what's the strategy. Am I going to try to be at the front with Caleb and Alex and everybody else? But he opted to go with stay at the back, not get involved in an early accident. We'll see how that works out for him. Save some fuel. That's what he's doing back here.
Yeah, you might, get a couple, 2 or 3 extra laps of fuel, and then, you might catch the lucky break of a caution, and then all of a sudden you're a lap up on the entire field.
I'll do a wide angle here. See all of these cars. We've got, let's see, the first 12 cars within a 1 second of one another. Throw a blanket over the entire field, right, Gary?
Well, and that's everyone's going to be tucked in nice and warm right now. And it looks like Caleb's actually approaching some slower traffic ahead of him. So we'll see how that plays into this grand scheme of things.
Yeah, let's see who we've got. Michael Berry here. Don't recall that name. I don't think you raced with us last season. Looks like he lost the draft at some point, and he's running about 0.7 of a second slower than those leaders that are in the draft, in the tow, in the slipstream. So they're going to catch up to him in a handful of laps here.
I gotta say, the car in fourth, and that's Lewis Woodall, has got the massive crossing of the streams going on here. We have a NASCAR-sponsored IndyCar. That's a little bit too much peanut butter in my chocolate, but okay.
Yeah, we got to look at him there. He ran that. I do know he ran that last season too.
Well, if it's your signature car, then more power to you. But I prefer my cars without the fenders.
So it looks like we have Caleb Bency and Hayden Herman, best friends, 1-2 here. So Caleb was telling me that he's kind of converted some of his friends over. They used to be NASCAR guys. They're IndyCar guys now.
He's doing God's work.
Yeah.
Julian Purple, 31.491.
And he is back. Has he moved up?
10th position, up 5 spots.
Wow, because he was back to nearly 20th position before.
Yeah, he's been shooting up the middle on a lot of these 3 wide, as they like to say in the NASCAR broadcast, the old sucker hole there, and has moved him right up into the standings. And we are 3 wide going into turn 1 right now at lap 21 of 100. This is way too early to be doing this, folks.
Yeah, I agree. But I think Julian had enough of it hanging out there at the back, and he's trying to move it forward. As I see Connor Baldwin flashing into the lead just for a moment, but this is going to get interesting when these guys catch this slower car. What I was going to mention there, Gary, is that one of the great things about this series, so its heritage comes from the r/IndyCar subreddit on Reddit, obviously, and so everybody in this series is a big-time IndyCar fan. So, we talk about IndyCar all day long in the Discord, posting news and everything like that. And it's just great to have these guys, like a really good community here of IndyCar fans in an IndyCar league on iRacing, because you might join a league here on iRacing and it might run IndyCars, but not everybody's a fan of IndyCar.
No.
They don't watch it week in, week out.
Julian way up on the high side going out of turn 2, going 3 wide down the backstretch with Coogan there. I know IndyCars can be a little bit daunting for a lot of people. I raced in a NASCAR league, and I begged and begged and begged just to do a little mini IndyCar season. And they were all sold at the end of that little season how fun these things are, but they can be a little intimidating. I mean, if you think about it, they're like a fighter jet. I mean, you get in there and you have a steering wheel that looks like a yoke. You have, sticks that move back and forth that change the way your car reacts. You have knobs you turn and everything. And you're surrounded by a cockpit and a canopy and everything. So, yeah, I can kind of see why these things are a little intimidating. But, man, once you get behind the wheel of one of these things and you go wheel to wheel with somebody else, that's when it really becomes exciting. Because, frankly, I can get in a cup car and I can go bump someone. That's no big deal. I could do that in real life. That doesn't take a lot of skill. What takes skill is not bumping the guy next to you, but coming within inches, racing him cleanly.
I saw Eric Hodel has dropped out of the race. I did not see where that happened. Let me see if I can bring up anything here. Okay, we had McCullen take a ride through the infield.
It's probably got loose there coming off of 4.
Yeah, and so Hodel back here. Let's see if I can get anything about him.
I start seeing a lot of cars getting a little twitchy off of 4, especially holding that low line.
Okay, we had Hodel and McCullen came together in the apron, and that is what happened there. No caution, though. We stay green.
Yeah, we got a lot of reports on the driver's net about cars that are blinking, and I feel their pain. I really do. And with everyone kind of in this pan, oh, we got a car spinning right there. 2 cars out, coming out of turn 3. It looks like he caught the apron. A
really big one there. Okay, I thought for a moment that Van de Zandt was involved in that. Is anybody... Dakota DeMade might be involved in that. But is he just... No, he looks like he was just avoiding it. He was steering to avoid. So let's see what happened there. Shane Coogan was involved in that. Tough break for him. I'm going to try to get a replay here. Okay, this had already happened for Mark Johnson. Let's get up here with Shane here. It might have happened. It happened in front of him. It was the NASCAR car, I believe. I think it's Woodall.
Yeah, it was Woodall. I think he might have caught the apron.
Oops, let's get this.
And I think everybody's pitting. Oh, we're right in that window, too, so you might as well go.
Yeah.
Oh, man, there was no place for Shane to go. I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
We've all been there.
So Benzie, Baldwin, Herman, Borg, and Forsyth are your top 5 coming into the pits with my good pals Altena and Van de Zandt there in 6th and 7th. And Mr. John Smith, Christopher Albee in the number 52 in 8th spot. So they're all on pit road, getting some new shoes and some full fuel.
Do we have Dakota stay out? What I'm showing is Dakota stayed out.
Dakota stayed out.
So I believe that staying out and leading a lap will give you a point. So I would suspect he's only has another 10, 12 laps of fuel at most. He's probably going to pit here and go back to the end of the line. But he wanted to lead that lap.
Yeah, it's not going to do him. This close to the end of your run, it's really not going to do you any good to stay out and possibly hope for another caution, because the people behind them probably aren't going to stop. So get your points, get your camera time, get your sponsors seen and shown to everybody, and hit the pits.
Speaking of sponsors, Gary, I guess we should do a little sponsor shout commercial there for Schaeffer's.
Let's do it.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
Back to live here. That was Schaeffer's Oil, title sponsor of the Schaeffer's Cup and the Schaeffer's Turbo Series here. And Dakota led a lap there, gets a point, valuable at the end of the season. And he's going to pass. You know, he was like, what, 28th, 29th position? He's going to be up to 23rd now. Get around these cars that were unfortunately involved in that crash. Pace car lights are out.
Yeah, 1 to green. His teammate still has the lead there, and the number 1 car, the defending champ, Caleb Bency.
Well, for the most part,
the Indy 250 winner in the TI League got a fancy, nice new ring for that.
Yes, he did. For the most part here in the Schaeffer's Cup, there aren't really teams. We don't do a team championship, so any teams that are happening are pretty unofficial here. But I can tell you, Hayden there and Caleb there, they're certainly teammates, friends.
Oh yeah, I mean you know who's teaming with each other, and you use the word teammate very loosely, of course. But Caleb taking the defensive high line up there against the wall. That's pretty typical of iRacing IndyCar restarts. And he has already got a jump on it, and we're green.
Yeah, he's got a good jump here. Nice jump by Caleb. Connor follows him into the first corner. Yeah, we got a nice spread out field here, but that's not going to last for very long, is it, Gary?
No, actually, I'm surprised. He's probably not going to have that lead by the time they get to the end of the backstretch, which is right about now, and that's exactly what's happening. So you get that nice restart, and you're like, wow, that looks impressive, and then by the time you work your way back around, you're fighting for your lead again. So
Julian is back to 22nd position. Didn't see exactly what happened to him during that incident, so he wasn't involved in it, obviously.
Not sure. He might have had some damage from something we didn't know about, and that maybe caused the extra 5 seconds or so that it takes to repair it in the pits.
Yeah, and they're going 3 wide for 20th position in front of him, so...
because that position really matters right now at lap 31.
Yes. Yeah, as the field starts to kind of condense now, Van de Zandt's moving up to that 3rd position.
Yeah, taking a peek up top on the high line there, and not just as a fuel conservation line, but that's also a clean air line too, to get clean air on those front wings, getting out from behind somebody that's blocking the downforce. That's a good move on his part. Not the fastest line around, but it's definitely going to keep him up in the fight.
Not only does it steer a little bit better, but you're not going to be working the tires. As I see a car, it looks like Team Penske car, spin it on the back straightaway, or on the front straightaway. I'm not sure who that is.
We are still green.
We are green.
that caused the pack to break up a little bit mid-pack.
Is it? I'm trying to figure out who it is. Okay, Matthew Cosgrove looped it around, no caution, Team Penske car. The captain will not be happy about that.
Yeah, and especially as well. Does he own the track anymore? I don't know.
No,
if
he does not own the track anymore. Unfortunately, IndyCar would be here if he owned the track, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's probably true.
Yeah.
Baldwin was trying to sneak it into a very tiny hole there. I wonder if he's driving VR, because really that's about the only way you could tell if, in a hole that small.
Yeah, the best part about VR to me is that I can tell if my front wing is damaged because I can move my head up to see my front wing. I don't know if that's the most realistic thing, but you can do it in the VR.
Well, even if you couldn't do it in real life, you probably have a spotter or a crew chief would say, hey, you have a damaged wing.
Yeah, that is true.
Gavin Sanders in the 10 and the Connor Daly there car coming into the picture as well.
So Sanders, we did a week ago, it might have been 2 weeks ago, although I think it was 1 week ago. We did a Roval race, warm-up race on Homestead Roval A, or maybe it was B. Whatever one has the turn 3 and 4 is the banking. And Gavin was really fast there. I don't think he won it, but he finished second. And Caleb was third, I was fourth, and Dakota was in fifth. Don't recall I think the guy that won it has joined the league, but I don't know if the time works for him for this race.
Right now, timing and scoring showed Hayden just get a nose in on Caleb to actually kind of swap positions, even though not an officially lap led there, but he did nose out ahead in timing and scoring.
Well,
I tell you what, Gavin is doing the right thing. I mean, he's just picking his spots. He's holding his line. He's slowly moving up, in and out of traffic. He's not weaving down the backstretch. He's doing what I would say a very smart drive.
So
whoa, we got a car. Ooh, car down on the apron. Who was that? That was the Miller Lite car.
I said who it was earlier today. I'm not 100% sure who that was. Number 24, was that what it was? Drew White?
Drew White,
Drew White, yep.
Yeah, he just clipped the that apron a little bit, and that's enough. That's especially where he is up front, that's going to take out a lot of cars behind him if he lost it. So good recovery on his part.
Yeah, we ran a race at Fontana, and I did one of those, but luckily everybody got around me. That was just, a few weeks ago.
It's so easy to do, and it's so, you see people to do it, and you're like, oh, he clipped the apron, and you're like, you want to say, oh, it's bad and everything, but everybody does it. So it's really hard to say. You just kind of give yourself a little extra room. That's about the best you can do, but sometimes momentary lapse, and all of a sudden you're down there in the apron, and you're swapping ends.
So I was on board with Elliot Borg there for a moment. He was on the outside. This is actually probably 4 laps ago now, but he was on the outside. He had Hayden Herman on the inside, and Hayden just came up just a little bit on him, and we're lucky we did not have an accident there. These guys are still giving each other room, it appears. It might not look like it on the screen here, but they're still being pretty good to one another out here. Last night in that practice race, they were not being kind to one another, but I guess they're stretching their limits. It was practice.
Oh, we'll give a shout out to a little bit farther back in the field. Stranahan, up 15 spots. He's in that really cool looking Petronas livery there. 31.4 just went purple a lap ago, so he is your current fast man on the track, and he is moving on up, just like the Jeffersons.
Yeah, I saw that livery in practice, and I thought that's a pretty cool looking one. Got a couple guys running kind of Formula One looking liveries. That orange car, it's kind of a McLaren-esque feel to it.
It's got that McLaren look to it. Maybe a little bit of Scotty D type aspect to it, but yeah, that's for sure. Definitely got the McLaren orange. Speaking of Scotty D, 2 cars back, there's another one that looks very similar.
Yeah, I was noticing that. And we also had I wanted to get this one in here, was the Tyler Coogan running that Blue Angels car. Really cool livery there on that car.
Whoa!
Oh yeah, we've got that
down
was,
on the apron. He got a little loose there.
Yes.
Gavin, who is that? That's not Gavin. That's
we were Cole Stranahan.
Oh yeah, he got a little loose there down in the low line. Got down on the apron, and thankfully the driver let him back up. He didn't lose a lot of time, but probably has an accelerated heart rate right now.
Yes. Yeah, I've been meaning to get one of those like heart rate monitors to see what my heart rate goes up to in one of these races, but I keep forgetting to do that. Probably go up to 150. The real life IndyCar drivers can keep their heart rate pretty low in this exciting stuff.
Oh yeah, they're like in the Barco Lounger watching TV type heartbeats. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're resting heartbeats like 60 or something. So.
Caleb last time around 221.751, Baldwin 221.520, Sanders 221.772. Borg is the fastest of the top 5 at 223.298. So that just tells you how much faster you are in the draft.
Yeah, Caleb's going to be burning more fuel there, but we've got Caleb Bensi driving the one car, started first, currently running in first. So he's got ones all over him. As I saw a puff of smoke, I think that was just a little bit of netcode smoke. Yeah, we saw Sanders drop back just a little bit earlier, but now he's back up, and Forsyth is a big mover. Started 16th, running in 5th.
Yeah, he's a good, clean, consistent runner. He also holds his line, picks his spots, and is very patient. Again, you can't win this race in the first corner on lap 1. You can't even win it on the second corner on lap 10. You just need to pick your spots and be patient. Your good iRacing racers are going to be the ones that are most patient. The ones that aren't are the ones that are going to crash all the time and you don't want to be around them at all.
Another car was Albie has he started 10th. He's running 7th. That's that Papyrus livery we were talking about earlier. Herman's kind of just moving around. He's been up to 3rd or been up to 2nd even, and he's back to he started 7th and running in 7th.
Well, let me call attention to 13th spot. That is Michael Berry in the 64, and he is in that Scotty D looking livery. He is up 20 spots, and he is in the lead pack.
You know where, I don't even show his starting position because he didn't qualify, but he was one of those cars. He was the one that was going to possibly be lapped early on in this race before that caution came up, so that saved him. And now he's back up with the leaders. I see Van de Zandt running that high line still. That high line might start working late in this run. Let's see, we're about 20 laps into the stint. They can go with the caution flag. They might be able to get to 38 laps in the stint, so about 18 laps from now. We are coming up on the halfway mark, about 100 miles done in this race with 100 miles to go.
So it looks like we got about the top 15, top 16. Yeah, and then you go back to 17th, and there's a pack of 4 cars back there that are kind of leapfrogging each other to stay within reach. But yeah, your top 16 are all up in on the lead pack, and you got a couple of others. I don't know if they lost the draft or just running another strategy in the back there, including. I think we got a wreck. We got a yellow. Yellow, and it is 97. So that was one of our leaders.
Yeah, I had moved the camera back to look at. And
it took out Barry as well. Oh, the guy that came up 20 spots.
So I had gone back to look at that group of 4 cars, and Julian was in there. They had lost the draft, so this is going to save them. We're going to get a replay of Elliott here. See what happened here. Not sure if he's the one that caused it or what. No, yep, he did. He got onto that apron, as we were saying. It's really easy to do. Unfortunately,
I think Tyler Coogan got it in as well.
Yeah, I see Coogan's got some damage. So both of the Coogan brothers The racing gods were not kind to them here tonight.
I've been there before, and yeah. Sometimes you always hate it. You'd almost like it if you wrecked on your own and caused your own out, but you always hate being at the result of someone else's actions. If you're just riding around, just biding your time, and the next thing you know, there's a car sideways in front of you. Just doesn't make for a positive night. You get the machine down after this.
Yeah, that's the worst. I don't mind when I ruin my own race, but when I'm ruined by somebody else's race, that's usually what really eats at me until I get back into another race, and then I completely forget about the best medicine.
Car sideways on spit road, by the way.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Was that Drew White?
Miller Lite car. Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna get a replay of that one.
I don't know. He might have damaged himself in that process by hitting the curb there or the inside wall.
He just that purple car. I don't remember who that was. I don't think he damaged anything, but he might have damaged the under tray. There was like some rumble strips or something. But let's quickly do another commercial break while we're under caution.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
All right, we're back to live pictures. Once again, Schaeffer's oil. So racing is in their blood and what they love. At Schaeffer, their racing products help racing teams spend less resources on replacing parts and changing fluids and more time out on the track. Check out SchaefferOil.com where you can search for the nearest retailer.
So there's Dylan Blanton there at the head of the caution line minus a nose cone. He's doing actually something pretty smart here. He's able to roll, and probably when he stops, his crew's going to say, hey, we can't fix this, we're done. What he's doing is he's rolling, and he's getting ahead of those cars that crashed on the same lap with him, so he's going to be a lap ahead of them. Later in the season, I call this the Al Unser Jr. kind of points approach, where you just, even though you're so far behind, you still make that extra lap. You still, get your car repaired, turn those extra laps, because those points at the end of the year, you might need them. And so those big points he just picked up there might be a position or two in the standings, depending on how close the point standings are.
Hey, Gary, I'm getting a little bit of a pop on your mic there. I might want to check that out. We are about to go green. It looks like lights are out on the pace car.
Yep.
We've got pretty good viewership here tonight. I appreciate everybody watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications when we go live. We're going to have a lot of races come in January.
And my January schedule is just packed.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have races every night of the week, just about. As we head back to green, Caleb Bensi once again, I think the only lap he's not going to lead is caution laps. I don't want to jinx him, though. But these guys that started that previous, like Julian here and Dakota, that last restart, they really dropped back and they lost the draft. I don't think they're going to want to do that again.
Yeah, when you reach the doldrums of the mid portion of the race, you could probably get away with that, hoping that there's going to be a caution to help rescue you, and that's exactly what happened. But yeah, at this point, with in the second half of the race, staying with the draft is going to be real critical. And we got a pass for the lead as Baldwin and Sanders.
We've got a crash.
We got a wreck in the back. And it looks like Van de Sant. Was Van de Sant in that one?
I think he was. Well, that's going to hurt. Yeah, he's really damaging that one. Let's get a replay here and see if we can figure out what happened. It looks like he's just minding his own business there where I'm at, but okay, we've got... I'm still on the start-finish line, so it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, he teleported right to the pit, so he is done. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, it looks like Craig Forsyth, maybe Craig's fine, but he impacted that. We were talking about that livery earlier. It wasn't Dylan, it was Cole Stranahan. I'm just going to rewind to get to that if I can.
Yeah, they had a little wheel-to-wheel contact there, and poor Alex is just the passenger.
Yeah, that's Alex had that right line, running that high line, but when that happens, you're an innocent bystander. That's the risk you take running that high line.
And so with the yellow, it gets Connor Baldwin freezes the field and puts him at the lead ahead of Bency. We got Sanders, Forsyth, and Herman. I got to wonder if Forsyth has any damage. He might not. It might have been a light enough hit, but he's probably got to wonder to himself, do I have some? You don't want to be that far up the field and then go green, and then all of a sudden your car snaps loose as you go into turn one. I don't know if he wants to get that looked at or just chance it. But then you got Ryan Lewis, Mark Johnson, Neil Lusher. Then we got Christopher Albee in the IndyCar 2 livery, and Drew White are the top 10 right now. So a lot of names that we haven't seen today are now populating those top spots.
Yeah, we've got Dakota DeMade in the Voltic pistol car. I think we're going to do a quick commercial for that here while we're under caution as well. All right, we are back in this field. So check out Voltic Pistol on Steam today. Put it on your wish list. Wait for the Steam winter sale to check it out. That's right. So Connor Baldwin, our leader here, he snookered Caleb on that restart, right? And he's been strong all race, though, Connor has, so we'll see what he can do. We'll see if Caleb can get around him. Caleb's been out in clean air this entire race, and he doesn't have that experience that all these other drivers have on this setup in dirty air. But again, he's got all the experience in the world. One of the most experienced drivers out here in the league here. Our champion from last season. That's right. Connor Baldwin's going to lead us back to the green flag. See how he leads us back. Caleb's been taking really early launch, and it looks like he takes one too. And looks like Caleb, did not, and he's going to come under threat from Sanders on the outside. Forsyth moving up to a fourth. That Jack Villeneuve livery. Connor there swings wide. lets Caleb back into the lead. I'm not sure exactly what the thought was there. Save fuel?
Maybe he just likes the idea at this point of being a follower, not an attacker. We still got 40 laps to go. It's a long time. That 55 purple car is starting to get into the picture here, too.
Yes, he is. Ryan Lewis started 25th, running in 6th.
Baldwin with an aggressive move down to the white line. He must have heard clear, and he's like, I'm going. Whoa!
And now he goes swings wide.
Wow.
This is some pretty wild driving there for 40 laps to go.
Yeah, in the PM18 race, I was, I'm not going to name names or anything, but there was a certain red car that was making some aggressive moves like that. And when you see guys doing that in front of you, like, okay, I'm just going to back off and let you wreck yourself. I would imagine that Herman and Lewis are probably like, I don't really want to follow that guy so closely right now. We'll see, though.
You might have had that thought about some driver at a Gateway race a few weeks ago too, or maybe a couple months ago now.
I lit off the gas at that point.
Yeah, well, that driver kept his foot in it.
Right.
Well, Caleb Bensi leads back to the lead. I'm not 100% sure on Baldwin's strategy there, where he swung wide and just like left the door open for Caleb there, because
Julian down on the apron.
Yeah.
He is now attacking Herman. I don't know if that's going to come back and haunt him, but he all of a sudden now he is up in that cobalt blue and black Vor car. That is my new livery. I've had better luck with the blue Vor car than the teal Vor car.
Than the teal, yeah. It certainly looks better. So.
Sorry, Robert. Sorry, Oscar.
Yeah, I do not like the teal livery.
Oh, I keep telling him that the teal is a variant of green, and we know that green is a bad luck color for racing. And if you didn't know that, that's an honest to God thing. Look it up. It's race car drivers do not like to drive green cars because green is a bad luck color. But then again, we have a car in third place right here in the race that has green all over him. So who knows? I guess if you don't believe in the jinx, it's not a jinx, is it?
That's right. I see Dakota's moved up to 9th from 27th starting position.
Whoa!
So
Herman gets loose and shoots down to the apron and into the grass.
But he survived, it looks like.
Yeah, there was a lot of room there. That's when you want to take that weight jacker and go just the other direction. Actually, weight jacker adjustment might not be good enough. You might actually want to move the bars if you're actually snapping that loose that quick.
Yeah. Yeah, and if what I would not want to be is a car trying to pass him on the outside after seeing that shooting up the track.
Wide down the front stretch. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be on the outside of a loose car. That's for sure.
No. Or that car that's been running the apron, or is running under the white line, trying to get that inch of apron that he can get. We're like four wide for second position.
4. Wow, 4 wide in turn 4. Comes Julian on the outside, 3 wide in the turn 1.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're gonna make that 3 wide work once you get up to the front.
No, you're just gonna lack the momentum, and you probably wind up your car with the fact that you're going to get freight trained in the draft.
So what'll be interesting to see here is just about every time that the tires were about to go off for everybody, we've had a caution. So we haven't quite got that, like, say, green flag stint where people have, as I can see at the top of the screen, they are catching up to a slower car up there. So we'll see how that plays into it. But
we got 3 blinkers in this lead pack. Wow.
Yeah, I can see Baldwin totally disappeared on me.
Yeah, he pulled a Bensi at the start-finish line at Indianapolis.
Yes, he did.
Oof.
Yeah.
I just
If
heard
I
a
was
drive.
in a min,
Go ahead.
I might make a call to the really bad blinkers and say, you know.
Well, there are some leagues that I haven't been participating, but I've seen some of the rules where, and Herman's the same way.
We've got. It looked like
White. I think White's. Yeah, White.
Yeah, White is taking a ride.
And also it looks like our leader, former leader Baldwin, in the green car finally came back to get him there.
It looked like he might be okay. I'm getting
so
a replay now.
We had a Team Penske car and the and Baldwin and White all come together. White spinning on his camera.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, we had Team Penske, I see. So really, White was just an innocent bystander on that whole thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe if the field keeps thinning itself out. I mean, we're probably looking at.
We're done with pit stops now. They're going to come in and be good to go to the end.
Yeah, if they come in now, they're going to be good to go to the end. So there's going to be no green flag pit stops. So what the scenario you were kind of trying to talk yourself into about, are we going to see a green flag pit stop this round? Nah, this is it.
Yeah. It looks like Baldwin's okay, but I have to imagine he's got some damage on that car, whether it's suspension or, you know, side pod damage. So that car, it might be able to hold the draft, but I wouldn't be surprised if he got into the lead that he just dropped back. The
great thing for him is that we're under caution. He's at the end of the line. He can stop. They'll repair what they need to repair. If he has to, he can probably leave the pits and come back around and then pick up the repairs again a couple times before we go green. And as you know, the draft is the great equalizer. So if he could stay in the draft, he might even be able to move up in it as a result of just the power of the draft being able to pull cars along. So I wouldn't even rule him out, really. He might be kind of wounded, but the second he loses the draft, I'm not quite sure he's going to be able to hold on to it.
Well, Caleb Bensie comes out in first, Gavin Sanders in second, Forsyth in third,
and
Good
DeMade
mover, Dakota DeMade, running in fourth,
up 23 spots, as well as Hogan behind him's up 23 spots as well.
He did the atomic leg drop on the field, and he's up to fifth.
Donchek with the purple lap. I'm not sure when he said it, but he's at a 31.256, so he is the fastest car in the race so far.
I'm just getting a glance through here. Nathaniel Johnson up to ninth. I wonder if Nathaniel Johnson might have been running in that major series that we covered, because I remember that name, but I'm not 100% sure if could be a different Johnson.
Well, I mean, he's not one of the Apex cars or whatever, one of the other cars that had 8 different. So I couldn't tell if he wasn't in one of those. So
Neil Lusher here, we haven't talked about him at all in the 808 car. He's in 11th, started 24th, but he's got a Lotus Olympus black and gold livery. That's one of my favorite liveries out there.
Oh, that is a great one. Originally, I thought it was the mid '80s Ari Leyendyke Previmi Veal car, but when I saw it, it's got the Olympus Formula One type look to it. So that's a very slick, very classy livery.
Exactly. It's one of my favorite for sure. I like a Lotus 79, but the the green Lotus livery, but I also like the black and gold too. McCullen's, we do have Lucky Dog in this league, because I think McCullen was a lap or two down, and he seems to be back on the lead lap now, so good for him.
All right, well, we're coming to green. Looks like the pace car lights are out. So we got Bensie, and I hear one of the cars, I'm not sure who it is, trying to burn off some excess fuel. So someone has a little bit extra. You can hear that machine gun gunning sound that they have when they put in the clutch. But we got Bensie, Sanders, Forsyth, DeMade, Hogan, Lewis, Altena, Albee, Johnson, Fries, and Lusher, that we just mentioned him in the 11th spot. So no one's out of this yet. 30 to go. just less than 30 to go.
As we have Caleb Benzie leading us back to green. He's had those really early starts. This one is not an early start.
This is a slow one. You can see cars starting to pile up behind him.
Some strategy here.
Yeah, that's a good start, though.
It's good to mix it up a little bit. You know, you don't want to be complacent and trying to start the same.
Yeah, and I'm hearing on the radio somebody didn't like the restart because they thought they were getting brake checked, of course. So don't follow the car so closely in front of you. And then
that's right. We've got Sanders looking on the outside of Benzie.
I think he said, I've had enough of following. I want to. Whoa!
Whoa!
Oh, there it is. And I don't know if that was netcode or if possibly he spooked himself.
Wow, that was he went into that wall big time. So we're gonna get a replay of that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe if you can get a chance to go on his roll bar and take a look. Did he actually make contact or did he spook himself?
I'm on board with him now. We're in the back straightaway, so it hasn't quite happened yet. From what I saw, it looked like Benzie came up just a little bit into him. We'll have to see what the stewards make a call on that.
Right now, race stewards are calling it a racing incident. I don't think they're issue any penalties right now. We'll see. That could change here in the next lap or so. But
yeah,
right
it was just ever so slightly. Caleb came up just a little bit. Well, one more free position for Dakota back there. And everybody else here in this field.
So for some reason, the pace car picked up 4th place. Benzie, Forsyth, and the maid are kind of out in front of the pace car, kind of waiting for it right now.
Okay, I see that, yep.
Now, good news for them is they're saving gas.
Yeah, I don't think anybody needs to save
fuel
at this point. Cautions breed cautions. I don't know how many we're on at this point. Let's see if I don't have any data about that, I don't think. One of your overlays might have something like that. As I see a car going by really fast, that was a Lucky Dog car.
That is a Lucky Dog going up high, yep.
Yeah, that was a little dangerous with how fast he was going. That was a tough break for Gavin there. I would figure he's not very happy.
I would not be, being that you're just getting ready to enter the last quarter of the race, that you're kind of biding your time. Looks like actually he was like, you know, I'm tired of following. I'm going to start doing some racing here. You know, we are in the Rick Mears hour right here. We are in the last quarter of the race, and those that have just been kind of biding their time, wanted to making their moves here. Maybe he was doing that, and that he was only a corner into making his move before he found the wall.
And I'm going to go to another one of our Schaeffer commercials here, and we'll be right back.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
All right, we're back. We have Caleb Benzie leading the race. 25 laps to go. 50 miles left in this one. So let's haven't talked about it at all, but I haven't done any like fast lap of the race yet.
Yeah, it's Donchak with the 31.256. I'm not sure when he set that, but that is your current purple.
Well, I've got what place is Donchak in?
I'm showing him in 12th.
Okay, yeah, I got a couple of guys in the 230s. That's a 230.448 is Donchak with the fastest lap. That's a fast lap in racing.
Yeah, it's hard enough to reach 230 at Indianapolis. That you're getting 230 here. You are all over it.
Yeah, that was a mega tow is what that was. So we'll be back next week here. I do see lights are out on the pace car. We'll be back next week for a race at Montreal. One of our, I have to look at the schedule, but only international races possibly?
We won't be seeing a lot of drafting there.
No, we won't. Well, on that back straightaway, it's got a little bit good slipstream, but then you get to the Champions Wall and tightens up real quick at that chicane.
Good start by Benzie again. Forsyth is with him. He is sticking right with him. I love the realism of iRacing, and you see these cars, especially have the lighter color liveries, to see all the little specks of dirt and rubber all over them. Look at the nose of the that Pennzoil Chaparral looking submarine. It's all dirty. That's great.
Yeah, I love that. You get that really dirty look. Not as appreciated in the actual race, though, when I start getting that on my screen, on my windshield. Dakota DeMade tries to look on the outside.
Wide, yeah. And look who's coming up here. Paul Page, be proud. Christopher Albee in the 7th spot among the leaders. Welcome to IndyCar Racing 2.
Yes, from Papyrus. Yeah, I think that Christopher Albee there he was certainly in about the top 8 in points last season. I remember him having a really good run at Mid-Ohio. As we're still 3 wide for that lead.
Julian can't decide where he wants to go.
I think he's decided that I'm going to help Craig there for a moment, but then he peeks underneath and gets back underneath Caleb's gearbox.
So how's this work? So you got a race first on the first car, and you have race first as an associate on the second car. Who do you root for?
The primary, but I'm not going to be rooting for anybody here. I just want to see a good race, and the broadcasting of this league is the biggest sponsorship that can happen, right? So,
well, I get to run the blue car too, so I get to run the livery. I'll put it in victory lane for you sometime.
And we've also got a little bit of LMCgear.com on that #1 car.
Yeah, these 4 of the 5 in the top 5 here are all familiar with each other, whether it be from the Race First IndyCar Challenge, the LMCgear.com series, or the Velocity Online Racing series. So a lot of these guys know each other that are among this top 4.
That's right.
And I'm seeing back in... we got Baldwin is now starting to poke into the top 10 again, so maybe he is not that damaged after all.
Yeah. But again, what I was looking for is if he got back into the lead, I wonder how he would do. Like, suddenly he has a parachute underneath him if he's the lead car, is my guess. But
well, there's only one way to find that out.
Yeah, he's got to get back up to the lead. Things are getting really interesting here with just under 20 laps to go.
Julian with an aggressive move to the outside. 3 wide, and Julian has not given a lot of room to Forsyth down there.
I'm going on board with Johnson here, and well, he was 5th when I first changed him, now he's in 6th. Yeah, going back to the PM18 race earlier, the Schaeffer's Turbo Series, I was really confused when I saw Julian, and then I saw your car. I was like, wait, Julian dropped back to 9th? And then I remembered, oh yeah, Gary's running that livery. And then you guys obviously had 1st and 2nd at one point.
Oh, yep, we tried.
Oh, as Johnson, I'm on board with him. He hits the apron, and it looks like I saw that I had it live the whole way. Several other cars involved in that
okay,
one.
So that's the, yeah.
That was hitting the apron. There was Johnson, and he's going to take out... Baldwin got lucky. He's going to take out the Papyrus car of Albee.
Oh.
Tough break for him.
If memory... actually, Baldwin has wing damage, so we have a one-wing angel on the course right now.
Yeah, I knew he had something. Wasn't going to get through that one easily. Cautions breed cautions.
The interesting thing about iRacing is he'll get in, and then all of a sudden the wing will just kind of bend itself back into shape. And it'd be cool if it was like real IndyCar racing, like when Team Menard would throw on another wing, and it'll be like a blue wing on a green car and stuff. That would be cool to see. But now they'll just match the paint.
Yeah, I remember I was watching just a couple of weeks ago. I think it was the Walt Disney race. It was a highlight video about Tony Stewart's 1996 season, and I could see like him or Brayton had to get, they had different color wing even at the start of the race, actually. So they didn't have enough wings apparently, even at the beginning of the race for that. Baldwin hits the pit lane.
Yeah, I forget who wrecked in practice leading up to Here Comes the Lucky Dog around. But I had Cheever and also who else was on that team?
Yeah, you're right. Cheever was on that team.
Cheever was on that team. I don't think. Gosh, now I should know all these names because that's my thing, and I'm just escaping me now.
Well,
but there was
Danny Youngdanis was on the team.
Well, Danny replaced Brayton, unfortunately, but there was like 4 or 5 drivers on that team, and they all swapped parts.
Yeah, exactly. Because you had like Glidden, you had Menards, and you had Quaker State?
Yep, Quaker State, yep.
Well, we don't want to talk about that because we have Schaeffer's Oil as our title sponsor of this series. I have a bad feeling about this going in the next 15 laps.
I hear a lot of cars trying to burn off some extra fuel.
Yeah, I think at this point you really do have to burn off some fuel. So again, McCullen was involved in one of those earlier incidents. I don't think any fault of his own. And he survived. He went a couple laps down. He survived, started 19th up to 11th. So a good run by him.
I wanted to say Robbie Buell was part of that team, but he actually wasn't. That was the next year. But go ahead, continue.
I was just going to say McCullen, whose name I mispronounced all season last season, because we were using Reddit names back then. But anyway, he had a really cool livery, but then he changed it over to this one. His wife had made the original one. His wife might have made this one too. I'm not 100% sure on that story, but I knew the first one was made by his wife.
That's a good looking one, though. A little too much green for me, but Mark Dismore, by the way.
Oh, that's exactly right. Yep, Mark Dismore. And Eddie Cheever, we're supposed to be talking about Michigan, but we're talking about Indianapolis. Eddie Cheever has the fastest race lap in that race.
In that particular race, yep.
Yeah.
That's the only record that Menard car will ever hold.
Yeah.
It might be a while before that record comes down. We'll see.
Yeah. Certainly safer to do it these days. Can you imagine in one of those cars?
Oh, man, yeah.
And we're heading back to green here momentarily.
Yeah, we are back to green, and we're not he's not taking that defensive line up high here. I'm not sure what he's doing. He just took
a really quick run off and then slowed it up.
Are they going to accordion behind him? Watch out.
Somebody's going to be on the mic talking about brake check.
Yeah, Garrison Hogan almost ran into the back of, well, at least from my point of view, DeMade. But I could kind of see if he was getting a little excited. And you're into the witching hour here, so you don't want to lose sight of these top 4. So I would want to be on the gearbox of the guy in front of me as well. I love that livery. That's the classic Pennzoil Yellow Submarine Team Penske Hall Racing livery.
So we have Julian lurking in third position. For a moment there, it looked like he had touched tires with Forsythe. 3 wide for the lead into turn 1. Getting a little tight there.
It
was, yes.
Dakota down low, got a good draft to bring himself up into the underneath the gearbox of Caleb there. But once he gets there, there's no place to go.
That's right. So Dakota and Caleb will be teammates in another series, in the TI series next season. So I don't think they want to be angering one another, being that they'll be teammates here soon. But going for that win. So last season, Alex and Caleb both had 2 wins. Dakota finished 3rd in the championship, but he had 0 wins, never won, just was consistent. So I know he wants to win.
Yeah, and that's kind of the story of his TI racing season this year. We're just hanging around. And I always like to call him the Tom Steva TI League, where Tom Steva won the 1978 national championship, but the dude never won a single race, but he just happened to hang around. Proof positive that, hey, all you have to do is finish a race. Don't do stupid things in iRacing. Keep yourself clean. Start from the back. Wait for the fools in front of yourself to crash, and so you can work your way up. And then all of a sudden, whoa, 3 wide into turn 3. But you work your way up into a position, and all of a sudden you got some points. That's how you do it. You don't have to win races. Winning races is nice, though. It gets the chicks.
Sorry, I was just reading chat, and somebody was saying the McMullen thing that I said incorrect the whole end of the last season for McCullen. I mean, it was McMullen. So, Bensi leads, 10 laps to go, 20 miles left in this one. Dakota dropped back. He was up to 3rd, and he's dropped back to 7th now. He was running that low line, trying to keep up with Caleb there, but it just did not work for him.
I want to give a shout out to my man, Rick Ravon. It looks like, unfortunately, he is out of his race at Indianapolis, watching here on another stream. So, sorry, buddy. Rooting for you as always.
Well, he'll be back in another Indianapolis race in no time, I imagine. And
I'm sure he will.
yeah, he seems to join every league's Indianapolis race, right? So
3 wide, turn 3. That's like an old style IndyCar start right there.
Yeah. The Triple Crown here, start 3 wide.
Tell you, Triple Crown is underappreciated. More people need to appreciate the Triple Crown. How tough it is to win it too.
Oh yeah. So I saw Herman go a little bit wide and no contact, but it got up and they were 3 wide with Lewis and maybe DeMade on the outside.
Yeah, a little bit of puckering happened there, I'm sure.
Yeah. What do we only have about 9 cars here in this grouping. We've lost the draft back to 10th.
Yeah, they pretty much well broken that one. So it's unless there's a caution, it's going to be someone from this group.
Yep. A tough break for that Papyrus car of Albee.
And Mark Johnson in the 15, wasn't he just in one of those last cautions? Didn't he just get repaired?
That one I don't recall. Nathaniel Johnson was the one that I was talking about. Yeah.
All right,
Nate
I was just sure. Yeah, but to say he's worked his way up too. I mean, we're looking at Forsyth up 14, DeMade up 24, Altena up 11, Lewis up 19, Fries up 23, Hogan up 20, Johnson up 12.
DeMades, yeah, he dropped back to 7th. He was back up to 3rd for a moment. Now he's dropping back to 6th again.
Julian 228.730 that time around. Herman 228.235. So they're hustling in the back. But in comparison, Bensi 222.260. So there is a distinct disadvantage for being at the front. You don't have anyone helping you, but he has the shortest line around the track.
And he'll get a little help with the car behind him. He'll run faster with that car pushing him, but not physically pushing him, but in the slipstream. But certainly not going to be running any faster than. And I saw Forsyth blink into the lead there for a second. Going to have to do that at the start-finish line. So 3 wide at the start-finish line here. Bensi's going to lead.
Pretty sure it's going to be 9 wide at the start-finish line the way these guys are going.
Yeah.
Look at the Pennzoil car right up the middle with a huge run. In fact, he wiggles because he probably had to roll out of it because he had nowhere to go.
I'm going to have to wonder if who's going to think about using that apron in the. I don't know the exact rule. As Forsyth takes the lead.
And I just heard race control call a back marker to say get out of the way, and he's out of the way.
Okay, that's that AutoNation car.
Yep, just barely got out of the way, but hey, he just happened to catch him in a bad spot. So 3 wide now. We got Altena, we got Hogan, we got Forsyth.
Well, Bensie's dropped back to 4th now. This is going to be a battle.
Whoa!
Looks like we're going to have a new winner here.
Whoa!
In the series.
4 to go. Now we got 3 to go.
And yeah, we're just Julian's just hanging on that outside.
He's trying to make it work. He really is.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. I think I'd want to pull into the inside and try to get around the Pennzoil car if I was him, but we got Herman up there.
Is filling in every inch. Oh, we got a car into the grass.
Is that?
No yellow.
No yellow. I'm not even going to cut away from it. Hope that it's not 2 laps to go. Forsyth leads. Schaeffer's Cup.
So that was Fry's, and he is going to probably lose the draft. So what he needs to do is just kind of hang on there for a top 10. 2 laps to go. Hogan actually showed as the leader, not as a lap leader. He managed to get ahead. Vinci all over the gearbox of Hogan.
And final lap, white flag is out. We've got 3 wide for the top 6, basically. Oh,
we got contact. Save! Oh, there it is! There it is!
Whoa.
Oh!
It looks like it's going to be between Forsyth and Herman. No caution still.
Coming to
Herman looks to the
He's
outside.
down on the white line. He has got this. There's your winner, Forsyth.
I had to wait a moment there to see what it said because Herman was so close. We've got Forsyth winning the race. Bensie leading all those laps, finishes 4th.
After that, I would say I'm a little disappointed, but it's a good points day. But after you lead that many laps, you kind of want to close the deal.
Yeah, that was some contact there. I think it was Johnson in the Pennzoil car.
Yeah. No, the pin. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to Craig Forsyth here. We'll see if he does any victory donuts or Polish victory lap or whatever it might be.
He's Canadian, so
yeah, I don't know what.
Just do it slower. I don't know. Here we go. What do you got?
Just stop. I would come to the start finish line. Occasionally I do that. I'm not Canadian though. Yep. That's what he's gonna do. Oh no. Oh, he.
That's the old pump fake there.
Yeah, that was okay. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, there. Put all the brake bias up front. That's how you do it. Yep. Destroy the logo for the track. There you go.
Yep. Well, congratulations to Craig. It'll be good to get an interview with him. We've got he's already in the booth, I can tell, but I'm gonna wait for him to get out of the car here before I pull him up.
Look at that car. It looks like it's like a granite color car now with all the white, with all the black on that white.
Well, if we get Herman and Lewis in here, we can do some interviews as well. And then he blows up the engine.
He blew it up. Well, if you're not going to use it anymore, that's the time to do it.
All right. Well, I will. I'm setting this up for our podium interviews. I'll pull up Craig here first if I can. Let me get us back to pictures here. Sometimes I do third first, but I'm not seeing third in the booth yet, so we'll get an interview with Craig. Craig Forsyth, I've got you up in the booth here. Congratulations.
Thanks. I hope we show.
Well, it was a pretty amazing run there at the end. Tell me about your race. Congratulations.
You can't break away from the pack at Michigan. This is the definition of pack racing. So whoever's got the bottom wins. That's the rule here. And Caleb had it. There was nothing I could do. I had resigned myself to, as long as I held the middle line, it was unlikely anyone was going to get an outside run. So I'd resigned myself to second. And then, I guess I saw a gap. He went a bit high, and I had the run, so I just dove it in. And next thing I knew, I was suddenly leading this thing.
Well, you're going to be leading the championship too. That might be the best part of this whole thing, in addition to the victory. You guys never had any green flag stops or anything like that? Never had to deal with tire fall off because the caution came out? Any other thoughts on this race? Anybody you want to thank?
There's not really much tire fall off here anyway. And the draft makes up for the tires. On that last stop, I considered not taking tires and just trying to jump Caleb by just splashing and going, but figured there were enough laps. I looked for the opportunity. So no, that worked out. And I got to thank Alex. Once he got crashed out there, he jumped in as a live spotter for me, and
nice,
was keeping me very apprised of how tight everyone was on my inside and outside. So that was good, because it's really hard to do that tight a 3 wide, that many laps without something bad happening.
Well, if I could have anybody as my racing angel on my shoulder, I would be more than happy to have Alex be that one.
I jumped on that the second it was offered.
And I know it's not the first time that he's done that for you, because I've heard him mention it too before. So you guys have some rapport.
Usually, if one of us gets taken out, early, we'll usually jump in.
Well, congratulations! Next week we're heading to your favorite track in Montreal. You're gonna be enjoying that one.
If it was Mosport, yes.
Montreal, I knew it wasn't your favorite track because of I know you want Mosport. But
I'm simple that way when it comes to the Canadian tracks.
Well, we'll see you next week, and then after that's going to be Homestead. I know you're strong there because you set the pole and the TI league there. So
yeah, it's a good track. This has been a good league. We had 30. Well, that was an impressive turnout for the first race. Good driving. It was.
Yeah.
And that was long. It wasn't a crash fest. Sure, we ended up having cautions during each of the pit windows, but still, that was some great racing by everyone in the league. Very impressed.
Congratulations again. Celebrate, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Matt. You guys stay safe.
Thanks. Congrats.
Hey, Hayden, we got you in the booth. This is Matt, and then we've got Gary up here too. Congratulations on second position.
Thank you.
Tell me about your race.
It was fun. I was in 7th for most of the time, trying to make the draft work. It's crazy how far it slingshots you up there. But then just the bottom line.
What do you do once you get there? Yeah.
Yeah. The bottom line was just overpowered, I guess is what you'd call it. And then so you just sit in what's probably third because the guy on the top's in second. But yeah, and then I missed my pit stall on the second to last pit stop.
Ouch.
So I went all the way back to 15th, I think.
It's not the worst thing when there's a bunch of, you get a slipstream. And again, you didn't do it on the last pit stop, so that helped.
Yeah. And then on the second to last restart, I was still in map 8.
Yeah, I did that recently myself in a race.
Oh, you were in yellow map. Oh, that's
yeah.
You'll never do that again. I guarantee it.
I've told myself I'd never do it again, but I've done it again. So try not to do that there, Hayden.
Luckily, there was another caution, and I was able to work my way back up. I feel bad. I don't know who was in the Pennzoil car on the back stretch, but I did not see him, and I came up into him. So I apologize to whoever that was.
You might know, Gary, who that was. I don't recall the naming on that one. Anyway, though, Hayden, I know you're big-time friends with Caleb there, and he led most of the race, but you ended up finishing ahead of him. You want to tell me anything about your sponsor here at this race, and shout-outs to anybody?
Yeah, so I'm running the Fawn and Fanny car, which is Caleb and my girlfriend's, their aunt. Their aunt has a custom body care store, and it's in Stowe, Ohio. So if you're ever in the town, stop by and visit, and make some lotions or some hand sanitizer because of COVID, and stop by.
Yeah, I was telling Gary, because we did do a shout out during the race, because I knew it was running on Caleb's car, that I was glad I researched what Caleb meant when he said body care, because I thought it was car body care. So I'm glad I researched that.
Yeah.
So you gonna be here next week in Montreal?
Yep, I should be. Not as good as I'm not good at that track, but hopefully it should be fun.
Well, we'll see you then. Congratulations on your podium here, second place. That's pretty strong, and you'll be second place in the the championship.
Thank you.
Well, we don't have Ryan Lewis, but we do have a Julian Altena. Let me double check. Actually, we have John Fries is from 5th place. We'll bring him up. Hey, John, are you there? You got a copy?
I am. I got you guys loud and clear.
Yeah, so no 3rd place, no 4th place. So we brought you up here, finished 5th. Tell us about your race.
I had a great time. I mean, I'm brand new to the league here. I'm glad I met Chris and was accepted into the league here. Bunch of great racing from the beginning. I wasn't quite sure what the field was going to be like, so my strategy was to start from the back of the field. I didn't even put a qualifying lap down.
Yeah.
Because you just never know, honestly.
Yep.
And I think it paid out. I mean, I avoided all the major wrecks. Came away, with a clean car, except for lap 98. If you guys may have seen me do a little off-road 4x4 action there through the
Gary called it out, but I wasn't going to cut away from pictures.
Yeah. So that actually, I think that actually worked into my my favor because it allowed me to fall back from the main pack. And
it did.
I stayed in the draft.
Yeah, very fortuitous for you.
So I'll take that because I may have been involved in that last lap melee. If it weren't for falling back and then getting that big draft in the pull from the pack to finish 5th. So I'm happy with that. I mean, podium would be nice too, but hey, I'll take 5th.
Yeah, congratulations on that. Hey, you want to do a shout out to any sponsor? You look like you have a really cool livery, but I can't quite read the sponsor on the side of it. So you want to tell me about that?
It's my career is in aviation, so I chose the sponsors for Hawker Beechcraft, which is the aircraft that I fly, as well as Jeppesen and Forward Flight, which are tools that I use.
Very cool.
So I appreciate their their products and support them.
Well, congratulations on 5th. Any you going to be here at Montreal next week? Any thoughts on that?
Well, I sure plan on getting as many races as I can here. I haven't raced Montreal yet. I'm gonna have to put down some practice laps, so we'll see how that goes. But as of right now, as long as my schedule allows it, I'll be on the grid.
Sounds good. We'll see you then.
All right, thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Thanks, Gary.
Yep.
No problem.
Yep.
We're gonna bring in one final interviewer. We're gonna get some thoughts from the Flying Dutchman here, Julian Altena. Hey Julian, got you up in the booth here. How are you doing?
Yay! I'm doing good. How are you guys?
So you did the, let me think about this for a moment. You did the Michigan 280 here tonight because you ran the PM18 race and you ran the IndyCar race.
Yes.
So tell us about your IndyCar race here. We saw that you dropped back a little bit and hung out, and then you came back up to the front, and then maybe dropped back a little bit, and then came back up.
Yeah, that was really the plan from the beginning. I first wanted to see how everybody raced, and I saw a lot of guys blinking, so that really scared me a lot. So I just dropped back a little bit. So yeah, I thought that was the wise thing to do. And then I had a little charge through the field because I thought, why not? So I just went through the field and I came up to P5 or something after 5-6 laps. So that was quite fun. Then I dropped back again at the pit stops on the yellow, just to be in the back again. I just stood still in my pit stall and then went when the pace car was on the back straight. So I was close to being last, and that backfired me quite quickly because we were in a group of 4 cars that couldn't really catch back up to the draft. So that was really unfortunate and really annoying as well, because I was trying to get these guys to work together, but they just didn't really understand what I was saying, I guess. But we got another yellow, and that really brought me back into the top 10 mainly. And until the end of the race, we had some really good battles, 2 or 3 wide, even 4 wide at some points. So it was a really good race. I'm a little annoyed with some people that don't really know how to go wheel to wheel, but I guess it's a new community, so everybody really needs to learn how to go wheel to wheel with each other here. So I think it's going to be better the next race, but
yeah,
could have been a bit better.
Yeah, it's these overcast conditions was just kind of leading to that kind of race to happen. Less tire fall off. Any sponsors you want to do a shout out here, Julian?
Well, my own league was on my car, Velocity Online Racing. We race on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern US time. So if you would like to join, I will try to post a link in the YouTube chat if I can. I don't know if links are allowed in there, but I'm gonna try. So the third season is gonna start on the 2nd of January in the new year, and we have a $100 prize pool provided by you, Race First. So that's really exciting. Also $50 to the team champions. So it's going to be a great season.
Yeah, really impressive field developing over there too. So
yes. So if you would like to join, I am going to post the Discord right there in the YouTube chat. So that was it.
That's right. Well, a good race there, Julian. I know you probably just wanted to win this one, but 6th place, and you should probably go to bed.
Probably should, yeah. I mean, I always go for the win, but it just wasn't in it today. But 5 a.m., I think that's a good time to end and start the day, I guess. I don't know. So
grab some more Red Bull or whatever.
I need
he
to
doesn't
go
do well. He does Red Bull.
Monster,
yeah. Monster Energy is the best.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
but
under
anyway,
duress, he does Red Bull. So
yeah, sometimes I do. But anyway, I'm gonna go now. So thanks for streaming, guys.
All right, take care.
All right.
Yep.
Have a good one.
All right, well, I was going to do a run through of the final field, even though we've been showing it for the last, 15 minutes. Let me pull that up. Race results.
I'm trying to bring it up in the new UI, and if for some reason it's corrupted for me, so I can't even bring up the finishing order.
Okay.
But I have the replay. I can watch it again. But go ahead. It's all you.
I've got it. So Craig Forsyth, our winner here at the Michigan International Speedway in the Schaeffer's Cup. Hayden Herman finishes 2nd. Ryan Lunas 3rd. Caleb Bensey, our leader for most of the race, ends up in 4th. John Fries, we should have asked him that while he was here. P5, Julian Altena. And P6, Mark Johnson. P7, Dakota DeMade. Not happy, I can tell you. My chat lit up after that race. In P8, Neil Lusher in P9, Peter Dunchak in P10, Connor Baldwin P11, Matthew Cosgrove in P12. I'm going to say one thing. I really like that we have real names again in this league. We had some crazy names last season.
Aliases, yeah.
Mike McCullen, I almost said McMullen. McCullen in 13th, Garrison Hogan 14th, Adam Nash 15th, and moving on to... Oops, I brought up the grid. Moving on to the next, Nathaniel Johnson, maybe Nate Johnson in 16th, Chris Albee 17th, Gavin Sanders 18th. He had a good run here until he had that unfortunate incident with Caleb, actually. Drew White in 19th. For some reason, Cole Stranahan's showing he's in 20th, but Alex is ahead of him in 21st. But so Cole in 20th, Alex in 21st, Dylan Blanton in 22nd, Tyler Coogan 24th, Elliot Borg in 23rd, Michael Berry 25th, Angelo Espo in 26th, Wes Shear, tough break for him in 28th, Shane Coogan. Coogan brothers did not have a good night tonight, finishing at 24th and 27th, Lewis Woodall in 29th, Eric Hodel in 30th, and I think that rounds us out, but let me double check who's the end here. Yeah, we just have Christopher Kresge and Tony Patty. Those are our men's.
Yep.
So other than that, thanks everybody for watching here tonight. We'll be back here 9 o'clock or 9:30. Well, actually, I'm going to fix that. We'll be here 8 o'clock for the Schaeffer Turbo Series at Montreal, and then we'll be here for, I believe it's 35 laps at Montreal at 9:30. We'll cover 15 minutes of qualifying and on to the race. So we'll see you guys then. Any final thoughts there, Gary?
Just everybody in this holiday season, stay happy and healthy. Follow me on Twitter at Gary Godso. I got a packed week of racing. I hope everyone has fun and races clean this week. Thanks for having me on. And I will, I'll probably join us all at the lmcgear.com race for the end of the season there on Le Mans. And other than that, I will talk to you probably then. But I had a fun time tonight. A lot of the names, just about everybody we saw on that leaderboard spent some time at the front one way or another today. So it was a great race, but we'll see how the road course even things out next week.
That's right. Thanks for joining me up here, Gary. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week.
Take care.
And final shout out to Schaeffer's, our title sponsor of the series. Schaeffer, racing is in their blood. It's what they love. At Schaeffer, their racing products help racing teams spend less resources on replacing parts and changing fluids and more time on the track. Check out SchaefferOil.com. Come search for the nearest retailer. And I'll do an outro video with them for you guys.
Schaeffer's Oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's Oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's Oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, you know, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's Oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.